What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here, back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Jim Lee, I don't know what, Wolverine. All I know is it's a dope-ass figure, straight up. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about it because I had to. So let's get into it. Now, starting off with the sexy packaging, I really love what they did with this. First off, this art looks really freaking good, man. And you guys know I'm a sucker for art. And I'm going to keep this box straight up. Now, it's built in the style of, I don't know what these things are called. Like the old tapes where you have to stick them in a VCR or something like that and rewind them. And it used to suck. You couldn't just put it in a DVD player. I don't know. I wasn't alive at the time. But yeah, basically that's what we got. We got Marvel Comics right here. That little angry Wolverine grin or frown, whatever. It says ages 4 and up. But really, we're just going to say 15. Kids, leave this alone. I don't even think you can find this at a regular store. But yeah, anyway, and I just noticed he's kind of like off in a sewer somewhere. So that water is probably nasty. It says X-Men Wolverine. Warning, choking hazard, small parts not for children under 3 years old. It says plastic-free packaging except tape and glue, Hasbro logo at the bottom. X-Men Wolverine right there, a bunch of stuff down there no one even really cares about. On the side we got the Wolverine angry look right there. X-Men Wolverine, I guess that stands for Marvel Legends, I'm assuming it's got to. Same thing on this side, and then on the back you have the figure all posed up here. A bunch of Wolverine, actually no, it's just one paragraph right there. Feel free to pause that if you want to read it. And then you got a bunch of legal stuff at the bottom that no one really cares about. So let's go ahead and put this down and bust the figure out because I'm ready to talk about this thing. All right, now straight up out of the package, let's go ahead and get right into it. This is one of those things where I know I am known primarily as an import collector, but sometimes I gotta show off my Legends collection. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but I do collect Legends. I have quite a few. I just don't pose them very often. But this is one of those Legends that I picked up and it just knocked me out of the park. Like, this figure to me is a home run. Now, does it have some issues? Kinda. We'll get into that. But overall, man, the moment I pulled this figure out of the packaging, I fell in love. And the main reason, right, I stayed away from the Mafex X-Men team because I was afraid that they were going to do exactly what they were doing. Make decent figures and complete the line. And if I was to spend all of my money on those Mafex figures trying to complete a Justice League team, X-Men team, I would be broke. The DC gods are mad at me right now. But if I was trying to complete an X-Men team of Mafex figures, I would go broke. And Hasbro dropped this banger from the freaking Jim Lee 19, I believe it's like late 80s, mid 90s. I don't know. I don't know. I just watched this at some point. I don't remember when. But X-Men and this Wolverine looks so dope, man. First off, I love this head sculpt. This head sculpt looks very freaking nice. Once again, this is that Jim Lee art, like, just in a nutshell. I don't see any way it could have been done better than this. You've got the tiger stripe Wolverine. I know some people don't like the cell shading for this, right? Like the extra yellow, the darker yellows and things, the darker blues. But honestly, I think something like this makes this figure what it should be, because this art style is very like animated, and this is exactly how the shadows came off in the series. And I also think it's the same thing, since I mentioned DC earlier, it's the same thing that the DC Comics or DC Collectibles did with the Batman animated series line, and I really thought that it made the figures pop. So I like this a lot. I know some people don't, but that's my take on it. But overall, I've been searching for a good Wolverine figure for the longest, and this is it. This is my number one Wolverine figure. If I was to never have another Wolverine figure in my collection ever, this would suffice. Like, this is so freaking nice, man. I can't brag on this enough. This is one of those things where I am fine never having the experience of the Mafex. And I've bragged enough, but seriously, like just look at this guy, man. You've got all the sculpted detail in his costume. You got the Wolverine muscles. It would have been cool if they added a couple of like line works for the hair on his arms. Everyone knows that Wolverine has very hairy arms, but you can see the sculpt work is there for them. Just I think that extra paint would have really made and topped this thing off. I do have a few paint issues. A little blue spot right there, a little dark spot right there on top of the head, and then this little splotch right here on the glove. Don't like that. One more right here. I have a few of these, but overall it's not too bad. But yeah, anyway, good looking figure. I've bragged enough. Let's go ahead and put him back so we can see how tall he stands. And before I do that, I do want to mention one other issue that I have, and I don't know if this is the same on everyone's, maybe it's just mine, but as you can see on this hand, I kind of have what looks like the curved in claws, and I really do like that. On this one, they look more like straight, like they tried to go with a straight version of the claws. I don't know which of these is the right way, because obviously it could have been warped in the packaging. You guys let me know, but I prefer them to be more curved. So if you know a way I can kind of warp them just to get them to look a little bit like this, holler at your boy, because I do want to do that. Now, in terms of the height on this guy, obviously he's not going to be too tall because Wolverine's not tall. But to the top of his ears, he actually stands right at 6 inches. To the top of his head, a little bit closer to 5.5. And if you collect Marvel Legends, then you do know this is small compared to them. And in case you don't know, I will show off quite a few of my Legends at the end of this video once I get to the size comparisons. Now, moving on to the articulation, he looks up very well. He does have that gap in the neck, but you can actually warp this to fix that, and you get a good solid Wolverine looking up in the air, getting ready to fight, I don't know, Sabretooth, Magneto, whoever you want it to be. I dig that a whole lot. He can look all the way down, chin touching the chest. He can sob, look at the ground, whatever you want him to do. He does get pretty good tilt and turn, so you can get a very expressive Logan. Like if you come at my boy sideways, he can give you the head tilt, like who you think you talking to. So I dig that. The arms do go up and out about that much. The shoulder pads actually have the, I'm not going to say that because Marvel Legends collectors don't like me mentioning imports, but yeah, basically you have a hinge on there, and if you want to move his arms around, there you go. You can move them up and out so he can get those uppercuts or strikes, whatever you want to do. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have a really great butterfly joint, so you can bring those claws all the way in and you can bring them back as well. I freaking love that. He also does, actually, let me finish the arms. I was getting excited. But he can flex and show the muscle. But because he is so muscular, that's about as much as you can get the arms in. I don't think you can get any further than that. And due to a recent Marvel Legends break I had, I don't even want to try to get any further. I'm just going to stick with that and be okay. His hands are on the typical hinge, and so you can move those around pretty freely with no problem. As far as this area, he does have a really great ab crunch, so he can lean all the way in. He doesn't lean back as much as I want him to, but I mean, that's fine. He does have a waist swivel. I'm so glad that they did that under the belt instead of above it. I just think that works a little bit better in terms of making this figure look fine when you pose him. I definitely have to hide that little gap in there. But overall, this guy, if you pose him, he can look really nice, man. Like you can kind of hide that. I'm getting off, but I didn't mean to say it that way. That's what she said. But anyway, yeah, he can kick out very far. He can kick back a little bit. He can do the splits. He can pretty much, this is a swivel. That's just what it is. It's a swivel. Bicep swivel. I couldn't think, man. I'm too excited. And it's late. I'm supposed to be asleep. He does have double jointed knees that bend all the way in. He has a swivel right there at the boot. Boot goes down. He can hit the stallion pose up that much. And he does have ankle rocker. So articulation wise, honestly, this guy is great, man. This is just... This is stupendous, man. I freaking love this, and I need to look up the definition of that word before I put that in a video. But I don't know. It sounds marvelous. You get what I did there? Now, if I were to say that this figure lacked in one particular area, it would be the accessories department, simply because I feel like they had way more options they could have gone with. And considering the fact that I paid about $35 for this figure, I believe, they could have thrown in a few more things. I really wish that they did. But first off, you do get the neutral angry Wolverine head sculpt with a pair of fist hands. In terms of extra hands, you do just get a pair of gripping hands. And the only thing they come with to grip is this picture right here, which I think this is funny. I don't know if this was the meme. I really know a photo that I want to replace this with, but I'm not going to put that on the video. But yeah, anyway, I think this is for the meme when he was laying on the mattress, I guess. Hasbro probably thought it was funny to throw that in there. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. And one thing I noticed about the hands is that they actually don't come with the little, I don't know what these things are called, where he retracts his claws into them. I'm pretty sure those are supposed to be on there. I mean, it's not a deal breaker or anything, but I think it is weird that they didn't sculpt those on there, considering the fact I think a lot of other Wolverine figures have. So, awkward decision, but yeah, that's all you get for hands. And I just hit my light, but I'm not re-recording this, so we're keeping that in here. And then you do get an angry Wolverine head also, which this looks really good. The teeth on this look good. The eyes are narrow enough that he actually looks angry. Kind of looks like you can see some sculpted wrinkles above his eyes, so that looks good. Paintwork for the most part is pretty clean. There's an ugly spot on the bottom of the chin right there, but you're not really going to see that when you pose it. So yeah, I'm satisfied with that. I really wish they would have gave us an unmasked head. That would have been awesome. Maybe I don't know, just like anything else they could have thrown in. Maybe an extra set of like reaching, grabbing hands, stylish pose, something like that. But I feel like there's still more that they could have given us with this figure to make us happy. And that's a little bit of a disappointment, but it is what it is. Now moving on to some size comparisons, here he is standing next to a couple of more recent legends and then one that's pretty old. Of course, I had to throw his arch nemesis Deadpool in there. I don't know which wave this is from. I don't even know how you guys keep up with that stuff. Marvel Legends releases like 20 waves a month. So, yeah, an old classic outfit Deadpool. That's what we're going to call it. And then we do have the Marvel Legends comic Doctor Strange, which was the Walmart exclusive that just released a couple of months ago. And then, of course, we do have Wolverine's counterpart, the classic Jim Lee style Jubilee, which, depending on how this review does, I might review her also. Next up, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Netflix Punisher. This is with the Walgreens exclusive head sculpt on the body. I believe, I'm not entirely sure, I don't remember. I think it was a Walgreens exclusive, but yeah, the man Frank Castle himself. We do have him standing next to my favorite Marvel character, the Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive Moon Knight, which I had so much trouble getting my hands on, but big shout out to my boy for sending it to me. And then, of course, we do have him standing next to the Marvel Legends Unparalleled Cap. And honestly, do you guys remember when Wolverine teamed up with Moon Knight, Captain America, and Spider-Man? I just read that comic recently, and yo, it was fire, man. It was fire. And then lastly, for some extras, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Red Ninja. I don't know what this is from or what wave. Actually, it's from the Build-A-Figure Stiltman wave. I know because I gave all of my pieces to Ty Butler. I bought like 5 of them. But yeah, anyway, the Red Ninja, we have him standing next to the Marvel Legends Retro Wave Symbiote Spider-Man, which just released not too long ago. And then, of course, we still have him standing next to my favorite Marvel Legends Spider-Man, the PS4 Gamerverse version. And the head sculpt is from the House of M Spider-Man. So overall, I will say it's pretty obvious what my final thoughts on this figure are. It's solid. This is one I definitely recommend picking up. Honestly, the only thing I think that they could have done better is give us more accessories. Yeah, the paint applications in some spots aren't the best, but that's just something that I've kind of grown used to when it comes to my Hasbro figures. Sometimes it just happens, and I do hate that they're changing the plastic so you can't see what the figure looks like inside of the box. That's gonna drive me crazy because I feel like I'm always gonna get the Spider-Man figure with the crooked eyes, or the Moon Knight that has a bunch of like weird paint splotches on it. And I don't know, man. That's like my one pet peeve with them, but I've just kind of grown used to it at this point, so that doesn't bother me as much as it used to. But overall, it's a solid piece. It definitely is. I really have enjoyed this figure. Like I said, my only issue is I wish it had more accessories. If it had that, then I'd be fine. But solid 9 out of 10 for me. And guys, if you can get your hands on this, I highly recommend it. I know most of you guys, if you're following me, or you're subscribed to my channel, are probably import collectors. And I've had people ask me if I was going to review the import X-Men stuff, but I just don't want to get my hands on it. Now that I see Marvel Legends is doing this, I don't have any reason to. So I'm going to keep reviewing these. I promise you guys, this will serve as a good replacement or stand-in, if that's what you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. But I think this serves as a perfect stand-in, and I'm extremely happy with this. But now I'm rambling. Also, big shout out to X Manny, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got this. I don't even think I would have known about this. But he told me about HASBRO Pulse and told me to make an account and all that good stuff. And yeah, this is my first order. I also got Jubilee, of course, as you guys saw. I ordered Storm. I believe I ordered Jean Grey. And I ordered some other stuff off of there too. So yeah, check out HASBRO Pulse if you guys haven't already. They're pretty good with shipping, and I really like them so far. But yeah, anyway, that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye. Go get this figure.